evening and welcome to the big Rainbow Bash. I stood here a year ago at the Soiree 2024 and I said, I'll see you in 2 years' time. But then a whole lot happened. Things that we could not wait 2 years to celebrate. You're not going to believe it, but tonight, I don't want another penny from you. I don't want any of your money. I just want you to be here with me in this moment to reflect, celebrate, and for us as a charity to give gratitude and thanks to all of you that mean so much to us. So much has happened in the last 12 months, real highs and real lows, and also many more families sadly needing the support of the services of the charity. We always wish that more families didn't need us, but we know that the reality is the struggles of infertility and baby loss sadly take place every day, not only here in our city, but all around the world. Chasing Rainbows has and always will be about the women, their partners, and their families, and of course, our much yearned for and loved babies, the families that you dream of having. That will always be the forefront and driving force of the work that we do. It's hard to know where to start because so much has happened, and so I decided we will go in time order. So let me take you back to exactly a year ago today. I stood here before you and we celebrated some amazing, huge things happening for us locally. One of those things was me being the first ever bereavement support worker in our NHS Trust here in Hull. The first thing I want to say about that is that it was some of the most amazing 16 months of my life. No matter how bad it coming to an end made me feel, the positives will always outweigh that for me. I learned so much. I grew so much as a person. I met and worked with so many wonderful people, and I made a best friend for life. Above all, I had the privilege of meeting and caring for the most courageous and inspiring families you will ever meet. Caring for and meeting your babies, I know many of you are here tonight, will always be the biggest honour for me. That I was able to know them, to love them, and to hold them. My time in that role shaped me going forward into knowing exactly what Chasing Rainbows means and what I want for the future. A mission that is always so clear in my mind and grows because so many of you care about and love the charity in the same way that I do as the founder. Sadly, only 12 weeks after standing here, championing all of the awards that we won, all of the big changes that we made as a team, I found out that the funding was not going to be continued for my role and that there would no longer be my position here in Hull. I will be honest, I was devastated, broken. I took it really hard and it has taken a lot to pick myself back up again. It really got me down because it was that reality of remembering that bereavement and baby loss will always be a battle. It feels like sometimes it will never be the main priority, and that is a hard pill to swallow when the fire inside of me is that it is a priority, and we as a community deserve that recognition of all that we go through, the true pain and heartache of losing babies, and trying to make it known in society that we can be and do better as humans, healthcare professionals, and services supporting these families. There's a national maternity review currently being undertaken, investigating 14 hospital trusts in England, but we know that this is a country-wide issue. It comes as the Health Secretary says, harm to mothers and their babies is at risk of being normalised in maternity units, owing to a toxic culture and a tribal nature. People that stand up for what they believe in are not afraid to speak out. They're often not liked. I am that person. I am here to make change and to fight for better, and I was unable to do that from within the NHS. What I thought was a tragedy, as Jen called it in that video, I have now realised was the right thing for both me and the charity. The love and support I received upon leaving the role spoke volumes. In fact, it echoed so loudly and it gave me the strength to come back and continue this mission for us as a deserving community. A big part of that is our Board of Trustees. They knew that the light had gone out temporarily for me, and they rallied around. They reminded me that I could come through this and that the charity had a real purpose. And this happening was only the start. It was the universe pushing us into a new and bigger direction. Gemma, our queen of social media, my PA and fairy godmother, she continued to keep the spark alive and get behind making everything shine from the inside out. So many positive, wonderful things started to fall into place after the Soiree 2024. We had our first ever Chasing Rainbows Christmas tree at the Beverley Minster Christmas Tree Festival, which we'd wanted for years. The wonderful Katie Pullen made the vision of Look for Me in Rainbows come to life so beautifully, and she's even agreed to do our tree again this year, so thank you. Our IVF giveaway was an opportunity, as I told you, I could only have ever dreamed of being able to offer for a couple. The winning couple, Dawn and Richard, took us on their journey and we lived through every moment with them. Although sadly their little baby died, they very much want us to still remember and celebrate that the IVF did work and that they are eternally grateful for this opportunity. I know so many of you are so deeply invested in their story, and they'd like me to share with you that they will be returning to Reprofit in the Czech Republic in the new year to try again. They're not going to give up on their dream of bringing their baby home one day, and they will keep on chasing rainbows. Around the time of me leaving the bereavement team at the hospital, we also found out that the charity that had funded the hand and foot castings for bereaved parents would be closing, and this service would no longer exist to families here in Hull. At that time, I felt that we were losing so much, and I couldn't bear the thought of such a precious keepsake no longer being an offering to the families. We teamed up with the lovely Jo from Baby Castings Direct, who continues to go in and create the most beautiful castings, and Chasing Rainbows are now funding them. And so far, since the 1st of April, we've sadly paid for 17 sets of castings. In March, we travelled to London to the prestigious Mariposa Awards. For anyone that doesn't know, it's a highly acclaimed international award ceremony for people working in the bereavement sector, supporting bereaved families. I'd said to Ginny, our chair of the trustees, many years ago that it was my dream to even attend the awards, let alone to be a nominee. We had a wonderful evening, winning 2 awards. I won a special recognition award individually, and then at the end of the night, we won Maternity Bereavement Team of the Year, which wasn't an award for the charity, but it was earned with the hard work and determination from 2 members of the board of the charity, myself and Ainsley. April quickly came around, and the 6th of April marked Chasing Rainbow's official 5th birthday. The day of the charity's registration anniversary coincided with the London Landmarks Half Marathon. Over 30 of us travelled to London ahead of the race on the Sunday. It was our first time as a charity having a team of runners. We had 10 amazing people that ran the race. Ben, Anthony, Daryl, James, Paul, Aaron, Tracy, Shelley, Elliot and Craig. That weekend was a real turning point for me. Seeing the love and support on the sidelines of the race was so impactful, and seeing people running in our running vests was hugely emotional. The atmosphere was electric, and I already can't wait to attend next year. Thank you to the runners and their families for making it such a memorable experience. Together they raised over £8,000, and the awareness that was raised was invaluable. At this point in the year, as the Board of Trustees, we wanted to be able to grow our services, to be able to fulfil all of the offering that had been put in place during my time in the bereavement team in terms of support groups and support calls, but also to make sure that we could finally offer support for all people that have been through any kind of infertility or loss. We made contact with a lovely lady called Anne that came highly recommended to us to discuss the reality of the sustainability of the charity's services, to enable us to ensure longevity and to hopefully in the future bring more people on board to strengthen our offering. We instructed Anne and her colleagues to start on a 9 to 12 month piece of work to analyse the charity and to create a business plan. This was an exciting moment for me as the founder, as I have never been in a position to step back and look back at all we have achieved down on paper. So I know I said I don't want anything from you tonight in terms of money, but if the charity has supported you in any way at all over the last 5 years, you would make me an extremely happy lady. If you haven't already, please could you fill in the feedback form that Anne has created. The QR code to the form is in the booklet on your tables, and it's also in the bio on our Instagram page. The feedback will contribute to this big piece of work that is going on in the background. I can confirm in true Sam style, I couldn't wait 9 to 12 months to figure out what support we can offer long term. And so we do now have support groups for everyone, for all kinds of loss, and also infertility. And I currently have a caseload of 42 women having regular support telephone calls with me. I told you last year that we launched our pen pal service in 2024, and it's something I am so proud of. It's a national service supporting people from all over the country. Now it's been running for 14 months, I'm in a position to give you some stats and to pay a huge acknowledgement and thanks to our volunteer team that run and make the service happen. To date, we've had 199 referrals, and we now have a team of 16 volunteers who are our pen pals. Ainsley, our bereavement midwife and trustee, has triaged all 199 of those referrals and dedicated herself to making sure all of these women receive support in a timely manner. The 16 pen pals, I have huge admiration for you being able to use your lived experience, which is often something none of us want to have lived, and you're using that to support others. That is the true definition of peer support. Can I please ask any of our pen pals that are here this evening to stand, and please can you join me in thanking them with a huge round of applause. In May, we ran our second pilot wellbeing weekend at Cave Castle and had 27 bereaved mums that attended. The weekend was a space to grieve, reflect, and for them to have time for themselves. There was laughter, tears, and moments of realisation that happiness and grief can coexist, and it's navigating that is most difficult. The weekend offered 13 workshops of 5 self-care treatments, options, and a carefully curated social element that allowed for getting to know other bereaved mothers and to connect with them. We had yoga on the lawn, fertility coaching in the ballroom, Reiki in the King's Room, and dancing in the studio. The wellbeing weekends are something really quite niche and special to the charity in what we offer. It was initially just an idea that I was unsure of if it would work. Having now ran 2 pilots, one in the winter and one in the spring, I think it has real purpose and can be a huge support in the mother's journey of grief and also what moving forward looks like for them. It's something that we have only been in a position to offer once every 2 years, but we are now able to look at how we can permanently factor this into our offering. Something really special that came out of the wellbeing weekend was how service users that attended approached me wanting to offer their own skills and professions to help the charity on its growth and sustainability journey. For that, I'm truly thankful. I had one wonderful lady offer to help on writing policies and serious stuff, and another to help in the financial aspect of things. Every single time any of you offer anything, be that your time, to fundraise, to nominate us, is all personal to me, and it means a lot. Please know that. I always avoid thanking everyone individually that has fundraised out of fear of forgetting someone. That's something I'd lose a lot of sleep over. If you or your family have done anything ever to raise funds or awareness for the charity, this is one huge thank you from the bottom of my heart. I never want the charity to become so big that it's no longer personal. I pride myself on our reputation and everyone feeling that they matter, because you do, as do your babies. In August, we hosted our 3rd event in aid of National Rainbow Baby Day, the Big Rainbow Picnic. That for me is about celebrating the rainbow babies, giving hope, and coming together to raise funds to show support to the families still on their journey that have not got there yet. I know there'll be many of you that hope and pray one day that you will be there with your rainbow baby. We all hope that for you. We were completely overwhelmed and blown away with the turnout this year. We had 284 people in attendance and the atmosphere was amazing. It was so lovely to get the time to talk to so many families that we've helped. Some I'd only ever supported online and not met face to face. The event was supported by so many businesses that donated their time and/or services for free. It was a huge success and it's definitely going to be a yearly event. We raised over £1,500 from the ticket entry, bake sale and the fabulous face painting, but once again, the feeling of togetherness and huge representation of the baby loss community is what it's all about. I know you all probably sat there thinking that I've missed a huge part out of this speech, but I'm saving that for later, for after dinner. I'd like to finish with a short video that puts this whole speech into a visual. A video to a song that I played every single day, morning and night, to help me find the fight inside of myself again. To pick myself up after feeling undervalued and worthless. Baby loss matters. Us in this room know that. Thank you for always showing up and always having my back. In return, I promise an amazing night with lots more to come. Thank you.